Hey everybody, Nick here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why humanity has no future. Why this race that you and I are a part of have no future. These upcoming generations have no future. I mean, there is a plethora of reasons to prove this case. You just have to look around you. You just have to want to see the truth of this world in which we inhabit, in which us and the animals of this world inhabit. It's all real destructive and corrupt. I mean, you can look at the system that humans have created, which is like the political system, the class system, the caste system, which is the caste system in India, all different types of systems. Whichever was created by man has quite a few defects to it, quite a few issues with it. I think none of these systems are perfect, obviously. Humans in general are not perfect and never will be. But a lot of people that I speak to don't want to accept or even look at, never mind accept, look at the fact that this world is chaotic and out of control. And yes, I know it's been like this for centuries upon centuries. The only difference is that instead of bows and arrows and swords and shields, we have like bombs and guns and nuclear bombs. So the weaponry has gotten more dangerous, tanks, as opposed to like back in 300 years ago, where they would just line up and hope for the best by shooting their musket. So the way in which we wage destruction upon each other has definitely evolved massively. I mean, you could win a war if you really wanted to, in a few weeks. They don't, because it's a moneymaker. So I mean, there's that issue. And everything I'm going to talk about in this video is basically proving that there's no future. I mean, just look at the money system. It's all about the damn money. I mean, if you don't have it, forget it. You're going to be a nobody. I was just watching actually a video the other day talking about how much you're going to have to make in order to make it, in order to be like, safe. So you have the roof over your head, you have food, you have everything you need. They're predicting that within 5 years or so, if you're not making six figures, you're absolutely screwed. If you're not making $100,000 per month, per year, you are screwed. It's getting hard out there, and you can see it. You can see the jobs disappearing, and people are saying, well, there's still jobs that some people don't want to do. That's true. But I think eventually, as technology keeps advancing, those jobs will be gone. I was reading an article talking about within 10 years, most jobs will be gone because of automation, whether they have the android robots, whatever you want to call them, doing a lot of these jobs. So those will be gone. What are people going to do? That's when they'll bring in the universal basic income, which is a pittance. And you're just going to have a lot of people with nothing really to do. Basically trying to fill that void of not being bored and just being drugged and eating terrible food. And I mean, you can go and read this guy, Noah Harari, I think his name is. He's like, what's his name's right-hand man, Klaus Schwab's right-hand man from the WEF. Those wonderful people who want you to own nothing but you'll be happy. Yeah, those people. So this guy's like, we're going to have to figure out what to do with all of these useless eaters. Yeah, those aren't my words. You can go check it out. He does speeches talking about this. It's all there. The proof is there. It's not like I'm making this shit up. So you got that issue too, and this is why I say there's no future for, most people are going to be even more slaves to the system, as in, because there will still be specific jobs for people to do. So that's going to be this, and they're going to be slaves in their own imaginary prison, because they got nothing to do. So they'll be like on the 3D glasses, or they'll be hooked up to AI, or who the hell knows what's going to happen within 10 years. Everything's just so evolving so rapidly. It's just insane. But they don't want us to have any sort of freedom. And yes, I know that real freedom, in the sense of the sense of the definition of the word, doesn't really exist. But I mean, you're not going to be able to choose what you want to do. You're not going to be able to choose where you want to go. You'll be stuck in like 15-minute cities or whatever. And even Donald Trump is already starting to talk about those. I think they're smart cities or something like that, or smart neighborhoods. I forget the name of it, but I mean, he spoke about that just the other day. So unfortunately, there's no one coming to save you as well. All of these politicians are either they're knowingly working for this globalist cult towards the agenda that they want, Agenda 2030 and beyond, or they have no idea, but they're being used as pawns. I mean, it's really sad to see that the world is being controlled by psychopathic, malevolent people who, a lot of them in many cases are multi-billionaires. And that brings me into my next point. They have all of this money. They have endless amounts of money. They claim to be philanthropists, such as Bill Gates, which is a complete pile of horse shit. And they circumvent the system. They open these funds or foundations, and they channel money through it in order to not pay income tax and then somehow enrich themselves further. It's crazy how this keeps going. Tries to make it like he's saving people by inventing, these things. I can't say it on here, which is complete BS. He's not even a scientist. He's a computer program peddler who, in many accounts, they say he stole a lot of the technology from other creators. Like, what is going on here? We have these people who are massively wealthy people, and they're not interested, and they're not going to help anybody, and they are not helping anybody. This is what I don't understand. I get why, but if I was somebody who doesn't know of the agenda and whatnot, if I didn't know that was going on, I would be like still questioning. Why are you guys not helping humanity? Why is there so much poverty? Why is there so much injustice and wars and all this stuff? Lots of money could fix a lot of these problems. It doesn't get there. It doesn't go there because they're not interested in doing that. They're in it for themselves, to enrich themselves, to forward the agenda further. They don't care about people. They don't care about anybody. They're all either sociopaths or psychopaths or both. There's no empathy there whatsoever. I remember Bill Gates was saying at the Davos a few years ago how he gets a return of 10 to 1 or 1 to 10 or whatever it is on what. Absolutely incredible. You can't funnel some of this money to help really, really poor people around the world. This world doesn't have to be the way it is. It really doesn't. It is the way it is because all the money goes up to the top of the pyramid. It's not funneled down to help people. And I'm not talking about communism, if that's what you're going to try to accuse me of, because absolutely not. But there's no interest in making this world better. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys watch Star Wars, the Galactic Emperor. He tries to sell everything as a good thing, security and safety, build up an army and things like that. But the point of it is the fact he's like, now we have peace in the galaxy, even though it's being controlled by evil people. It's the same with the Earth. They just want to try and sell us safety and security under the guise of, that they're good people, using this whole manipulation of perception. And that's what I think a lot of people, why they don't act, why they don't speak up. They're just too stuck in their own reality, in their own life, and they just don't, they don't see the change happening too quickly. I'm probably like ranting on here, but I mean, anybody who says that there's the future looks bright just because Trump won, or the future looks bright because things are, it's, get your head out of your ass. That's not going to change. And I'm guaranteeing you, in 4 years from now, nothing is going to be better. It's going to be worse. Much, much worse. And I'm not trying to be a doomsday guy or doom and gloom guy. I don't want to be that guy, but this is just the truth, okay? I don't see the world being a better place 4 years from now. This agenda is slowly being rolled out because you don't want to roll out some sort of agenda all at once. You don't want to put out everything all at once, because people would then start to suspect, right? It has to be slow, a tiptoe towards totalitarianism. Totalitarianism. I think that's how you say it. And it's just not that simple. It's not going to be within a year or two. That's why they call it Agenda 2030. Because I think that book, The Great Reset, was written, in 2019 or during the 2020 insanity. And it's all there. I mean, it's all in our face. It's not like you can say, it's the conspiracy theory. It's there. It's written in, it's told to our faces. All the politicians in 2020 and 21 were all saying the same thing in lockstep. I think this is a good opportunity for a great reset. Come on. All of them in unison saying the same thing, like reading from a script. Come on. Now my point is, let's say that, how can I put it? People, it's all like a chain reaction. People losing jobs, people not having enough money, people getting angrier, more stressed, which inevitably causes more crime, because humans get desperate and they have to resort to things that they don't want to do. And that's what's happening. They don't want people to have any sort of wealth whatsoever, because that gives choice. If you take that away from people, take their businesses and their livelihoods away from people, you destroy them. You destroy their ability to earn a living. You destroy their ability to give their kids some sort of future as well. And it just causes more crime. Housing is going up constantly worldwide, specifically in a lot of Western countries. People are just not able to afford even to own a house, much less rent one of these. I mean, renting is just insane these days too. Everything's going up in price. And no raises amongst businesses for their employees. I even saw a video where it was talking about tipping in Canada, how it's gone out of control, specifically in my city of Toronto, where they actually caught a few people, like businesses, keeping the tips for themselves. How much of a lowlife do you have to be to keep the tips that is supposed to go to your employers? It's just all of this stuff put together. If you can put the puzzle piece together by seeing how much violence has gone up in crime, the cost of living, the environment being destroyed as well is one big part of it, based because of industry and human consumption. And if you add all of this up, everything that is going wrong in this realm, in this hell world, it's not that difficult to see what kind of a future there's going to be. It's really not. And it's the equation that is going to end up being some massive problem. And what happens? Problems, what do you call it? Problem reaction solution, which is there's a problem, and this is going to be a big one. People need order in the middle of the chaos, and solution is going to be from these globalists. They're going to offer the fake safety for your obedience and for your acquiescence, and that's what's going to happen. I mean, I didn't really want to talk about more doom and gloom and negative videos, but I mean, honestly, it's hard to come up with ideas for positivity, for positive videos, when all you see is shit around. I mean, tell me otherwise. Tell me that this world is a beautiful place, that everything runs smoothly, and people just accept it because they don't want to acknowledge that, yeah, everything is fucked up. Everything is really fucked up. There's just so much ugliness in this realm, on this planet, that it's no one really wants to admit it. And that's, what can I say? It's like saying, how would I put it? You have a house and it's completely, utterly, needs a cleanup. It's a pigsty, and you ignore it. You don't even let anybody in because you just don't want to see it. You have one of those rooms that's just completely filled with junk, and you're a pack rat or something, and you leave the door closed because you just don't want to see it. I don't know how people can have that mentality when it's all over the place. I see such violence and vile acts here in my new country of residence. Not so much the town I live in, but in the city and on the news around the country. Just such evil ass shit going on. Beyond belief. I mean, if you can think it, it most likely happens, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there because I don't think I need to tell you guys that there is no future in this world. There's just not. The best we can do is just speak up on it. I mean, try to be the change that we want to see in the world. Whether that's possible, I don't know. That might be a good topic for another video. Anyways, let me know your thoughts, guys. What do you think about the future of this planet? The one thing I do know, that everything is finite. So, I mean, even for these stupid ass globalists, anybody who does wrongdoing or anything, it's finite. Everything comes to an end. So that's kind of a nice, sobering thought to have, to be a little bit less stressed while we're here in trying to live our human experience. But yeah, let me know what you think. Give a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you next time very soon. Bye for now.